Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Freddy Sultana. So, by the way, my real name is Fredeline R. Tana from Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Mathematics. So for today's video, I'm going to introduce to you the three greatest mathematicians. In our module, we have a lot of mathematicians there, but our instructor rather, have given a chance to us to report these three mathematicians. So, I choose John Venn, Augustus de Morgan, and Carl Friedrich Gauss. So, as I'm going to start our presentation, this wonderful morning. So, our first mathematician that I'm going to introduce to you is John Venn. Did you know that? Do you know John Venn? Some of you may not know, but let me introduce to you John Venn. John Venn was an English mathematician that and a logician best known for his Venn diagram. Have you already known Venn diagram? So, Venn diagram which can be used to visualize the intersection and the union of the sets. So, I have a little biography about John Venn. Well, John Venn's mother is Martha Skies, but sad to say, his mother died when he was still a little young boy. And then his father was Rev. Henry Venn. So, Venn studied and taught logic and probability theory at Cambridge University, which he develops his method of using diagrams to illustrate the branch of mathematics known as set theory. So, in using Venn diagram, we can easily identify the similarities and the differences of the two, which we can easily use, and it's very useful today because we can able to recognize all the sets of our mind that we have to on how we are going to recognize the relationship of the two, and we can easily identify how we are going to make visual of intersection and the union. So, John Venn, he is really a very good student before. He seems really study in a far away so that he can able to be the greatest mathematician. And I hope that someday I'm going to be a mathematician too. But sad to say, but we have a little problem. We can able to solve it. How much more when we are going to make a theory or a law. So, but whatever. So, but soon, major in mathematics, we are going to be. So, for our second mathematician I'm going to introduce to you is Augustus de Morgan. Augustus de Morgan is also known as an English mathematician and logician whose major contribution to study of logic includes this formulation of De Morgan's law. So, in De Morgan's law, here is the example. De Morgan's law is a very important because he purely he recognized a purely symbolic nature of algebra, and he is aware of the existence of the algebra when other for the ordinary rather than other ordinary algebra. So he is aware of the existence of the algebra and is going to he introduced the De Morgan's law, and his greatest contribution, the reformer of the mathematical logic. And did you know that Augustus de Morgan is he is a great teacher before? Did you know that he is 5 years in teaching at the Cambridge? He is a very did you know that he is the first president of London, which is he introduced the Mathematical Society, and this mathematical in and this mathematical induction, and he introduced this De Morgan's law and this mathematical induction rather in 1838. So he is a professor of mathematics at the University College in London. So he was born on June 27, 1806 at Madura, India. And sad to say, he died on March 18, 1871. So he's a little bit more older when he was introduced this, not so an adult, but he really introduced um, he really introduced his law when he was an above his age in the youngest term. So he invents also the mathematical induction and makes the method precise. So he also introduced the arithmetic in 1830. So his earliest work, which is this arithmetic sequence. So he distinguished by a simple yet thorough philosophical treatment of the ideas of numbers and magnitude. So for our number 3 greatest mathematician is Carl Friedrich Gauss. Carl Friedrich Gauss, he proves that the fundamental theorem of algebra. So, did you know that he is the prince of mathematics? Wow, what a powerful prince. About us, we are just a student and we are going to able to become a higher place, but we are going to become a greatest mathematician. So how about Carl Friedrich? Is a very an honored person to be encountered with. So he was born on August 1834 at England and died on April 4, 1923. So he graduated at Six Wingler in the mathematical tripos of 1858. So he studied his college at Gonville and Chaos College at Cambridge University in October 1853. So his work written is the logic and chance. So his profession is mathematician and logician. So there are lots of there is a lot of what we call this. He had a lot of works, but he stand as he had a lot of work, but the stand of his works are this number theory, the example, it's geometry, the probability, the theory, and the astronomy, and the theory of function. So, and there is a lot of work that he made, but these few are really that really exist right now in our mathematics world. So, um, the theory of Gauss added the paired values rule, noticing that the sum were all the same value. Since he had 50 such pairs, he multiplied 101 times 50 and obtained the sum of the integers from 1 to 100 to be 5050. So now Carl's discovery works nicely, and as long as you have of your own number, even number of terms in your series. So Carl's Friedrich Gauss, he is really a greatest mathematician of all time, because you know that he is being called the prince of mathematics, right? So his all works was really useful in our mathematics in the modern world right now, because um his logic and chances that really proves the fundamental of theorem in algebra. So I hope that these three mathematician you've known in your life before, as you listen to your teacher before. So for me, I'm not listening before, and it's really an interesting part of me to study about their contribution, because all of their works is really useful in our society right now. Example, in our school, we have to use it. Even not we are not going to make it in our future, but as a greatest mathematician, we are going to be this kind of mathematician that very useful, and it is very important for us to know all of their works, that we're going to be the greatest mathematician. We're going to make them as an inspiration on how we are going to be, um, if we are going to be a mathematician just like me. I dream to be a mathematician, but sad to say that even if a little problem, I can't even solve it. But I did try my best to be um to be a very good teacher, but not as a mathematician. But today, I'm going to be a teacher, because it is my dream also to be part of this community right now, that I'm going to be a teacher. So I hope that this video really makes us an inspiration to be the greatest mathematician, and I hope that um, you listen to my report. And so thank you, sir, for making this opportunity for me to report this kind of um, this kind of contribution in the mathematics and the mathematician world. Thank you.